Hello everybody. This video is intended to be just a basic introduction to this class. For those of you who don't know, which I suspect is most of you, my name is Scott Keys, and I will be your professor for this online course for this summer, 2019. The class that you are about to take, of course, is going to be U.S. history from about 1877 up to the present. And this is History 101. So hopefully you are in the right class and are accessing the right Canvas shell. So as already stated, what this is just a way for me to sort of introduce myself to you and sort of give you a rundown of what this course is going to be like. First and foremost, I am entirely sold out on students and education, and I love the subject of history. I am passionate about it. And I am here to do my best to try and help you be successful. And so at any time, if you have a question or a comment or a concern, please feel free to contact me through email. And I will get back to you just as soon as I possibly can. Normally, I'm pretty fast about getting emails sent back, but given the amount of workload that I have for the summer, I promise that I will at least get back to you within 24 hours, Monday through Thursday. If you send an email or a message Friday through Sunday, it might take me a little bit longer, but no more than 48 hours over the weekend. I do have 4 kids and community service obligations, and so I am a little bit busier on the weekend. But generally speaking, I get back to you as soon as I can. So again, if you have questions, please let me know, and I will try and address those the best that I can. Okay. Now, one thing I want to stress at the very beginning is that the course that you are taking is just slightly over 4 weeks long. In fact, the very last week, which is technically the 5th week, is actually only 3 days long. The class technically ends on Wednesday. So really, we have about 4 weeks with which to cover a lot of content. And so I need you to really understand that because this is a summer course and it is really accelerated, I am forced to take about 18 weeks of content that I normally cover in a traditional semester, which is anywhere between 3.5 to 4 months. And we're trying to condense that right down into about 4 weeks. So you're really talking about a very rapidly accelerated course. And so you're going to find that there is a lot of reading that you're going to have to do, and the assignments are going to feel as if they're coming at you a little bit more quickly than obviously they would if you were taking this in an 18-week course, because obviously we'd have a lot more time. I say that not necessarily to scare you off or to freak you out, but simply just to let you know the reality that, yeah, we have a lot of content to cover, but a very small amount of time to cover it in. So to best understand how this course is designed and organized, I would ask that you take a look at the syllabus. It provides for you all my policies and procedures, some of which I'll state here, but it also lists out for you what your assignments are going to be, as well as what the reading schedule is going to look like. And although you are going to have supplemental instructional materials, most of which are going to be online activities or videos, there might be a lecture that I give from time to time, but the bulk of what you're going to be getting is from your textbook. And so you want to make sure that you get that textbook immediately. It's going to be really, really important that you have that book. In fact, many of the questions that you're going to be answering are going to either come directly out of your textbook, or they will be based upon questions that are written in your textbook. So you want to make sure you get that, and you want to make sure that you get the book with the primary sources. It's absolutely critical that you get the version of the textbook that has the sources. Okay, if you go and take a look at the announcements page, you'll see I've provided a link there for you to Amazon where you can purchase the book. You can also get it in the bookstore, but make sure that the one that the bookstore has offered, or ordered rather, is the one with the primary sources. Okay, you can also see the name and publication material of that book in your syllabus. Okay. All right, so just a couple of things about my policies and my procedures. One, and the thing that's probably going to be the most significant is late work. Students always ask about the late work policy, and I am fairly strict about my late work policy, but I get a little bit more so during the summer because it's such an exaggerated, not exaggerated, but accelerated course. To get behind 1 week is really detrimental, because really what you're talking about is 2 to 3 weeks worth of material that we're sort of cramming into 1 week. So to miss a week or to miss an assignment from a week is really going to put you behind. So you really don't want to have to engage in makeup material. That stated, I accept late work, but I only will accept it for extreme unforeseen circumstances, okay? So for example, if you have a medical emergency, or there's a death in your family, or as I've had one student have happen, your house burns down, right? Those would be unforeseen emergency situations, and there would definitely be the opportunity to have an extension on an assignment if that's the reason why you can't get an assignment in. Anytime that I provide an extension, however, please note that you are going to have to provide some type of official documentation. And this might be, say, a physician's note or some other type of official documentation. Maybe if you had a loved one pass, maybe it's an image of their obituary, or an image of the little pamphlet that they hand out at the funeral, something to that nature, okay? Things that don't constitute an emergency situation or an unforeseen circumstance would be your work schedule, your family schedule. If your internet goes out at the last minute and you've waited till the last minute to do your assignment, that would not constitute an extension. Now, I will say, if for some reason Canvas goes down and the technological issue that you're having is because of something that happened through the school, then that would warrant an extension, because that's not your fault. But you want to make sure that you get your work in on time as much as possible. There are certain assignments that you can make up. The final exam, and you only have one test here, the final exam is not an assignment that you're going to be able to make up. So if you miss that, you're not going to have an opportunity to make it up, because it comes at the very end of the class and the course will be over and closed by the time that you would even have an opportunity to make that up. So go into the syllabus and take a look at that late work policy so you can get a sense of exactly what you could make up, okay? Attendance. This is an online class. It's a virtual class. All classes will begin on Monday. I will do my best to have all the materials up and loaded for you by 7 a.m., 7 to 7:30 a.m. on Monday. And then you will have the entire week to get your assignments done until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. of any particular week. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you check in early each week, and you want to make sure that you really pace yourself, because again, there's lots of content, and each week you are going to have assignments due. Okay, typically they will be written assignments, and you can see what those assignments will be by going to your syllabus, and towards the end of it, you'll see under the assignments page, it describes and lists for you what those assignments will be. You can also go to the assignments tab in Canvas and get an idea of what the questions you'll be asking will look like, as well as additional directions. So make sure that you're taking a look at that. Because most of your assignments will be written assignments, please understand that although I am predominantly looking to see that you understand the history and that you can make sound and rational arguments and use the evidence that we've provided in a reasonable and logical way, I am also going to be grading a little bit on punctuation, spelling, capitalization, the flow of ideas, how your paper's organized, whether or not you've presented a thesis statement and a conclusion. Because if your ideas don't flow well and if they don't communicate clearly, then I'm going to have a hard time being able to understand whether or not you grasped the content and whether or not you're able to make your argument. So please make sure that you edit your content before you submit it to be graded. As far as other policies and procedures goes, email, I only will respond to email from your school email address, so please do not email me from your personal email address, and I will, again, get back to you. You can also message me through the message board system on Canvas. One thing I have noticed that students do regularly now is if I present a comment to you on one of your assignments, students will frequently send a comment back to me through the comments section on their assignment. I generally don't go back and take a look at the comments section. So if you have a question or concern, it's best to email me or send me a message through the Canvas inbox. That way I for sure get your message as opposed to potentially missing it, which I don't want to do, okay? So just make sure that you do that. Other than that, guys, everything else is fairly well spelled out in the syllabus, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you a little bit of extra credit right off the bat, and I want to do this because I want to ensure that you understand all my policies and that you understand how the class is going to be laid out. So what I'm asking that you'll do is at the beginning of this class, within the first 4 days, you have to send this to me within the first 4 days. That would be Monday through Thursday. And if you don't send it to me within that time, you're not going to have opportunity to get the extra credit. So please make sure you send it within those first 4 days. I want you to answer basically broadly, what are my policies and procedures? What does this class look like structurally? How is it organized? Identify for me what your assignments are. Identify what some of the directions for those assignments are so that I know you understand what's expected of you, when these things are expected to be due, and generally how you are going to be graded, and generally what my policies and procedures are. Okay, so be as specific as possible. And I will be awarding extra credit for students who do email me this, again, within the first 4 days of class, okay? I think that's pretty much it. That's what I have for you. Each week I will provide an introductory video like this, kind of giving you an idea of what to expect for the particular week. I might also provide any updated observations that I have about how the class is going, or trying to give you some directions. So anytime you see a video from me, please make sure that you watch it, lest you miss something. And again, I don't want you to do that. So that's what I have. So again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, contact me. I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I will leave you, as I always will, in the following send-off. Go in peace, be warm and filled. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper, and may the odds forever be in your favor. Have a blessed week, guys.